This being the first touchstone topic of the new year, it is especially meaningful to start off with someone as inspiring as Carrie. Sometimes all we need is a fresh start. And after the year we've had and the events of the past couple of days, fresh starts should be a priority on all of our agendas. You all are very important and definitely worth it. Think of this as a fresh start, a new beginning, a new opportunity for you. I am so especially excited to introduce our beautiful and inspirational guest today, Carrie Asuncion. We are definitely kindred in our purpose and mission. Carrie is a high energy, powerful powerhouse who helps business leaders build profitable businesses by clearing the blocks that keep them stuck. And as individuals, we all have those too. And with over 20 years in transformational leadership, she offers a breadth of knowledge in creatively navigating the twists and turns of life and business. Carrie offers one-on-one personalized coaching, as well as leading transformational retreats around the world. She coaches with Maui Mastermind, an internationally recognized coaching firm. We will be putting Carrie's contact info in the chat should you want to contact her, reach out to her at a later date. Carrie is our friend and neighbor. She lives in Paso Robles, which is really just north of where Diane and I are sitting at our home chairs. And she lives with her teenage son and 3 lively cats. Carrie, thanks so much for being with us today and getting our year started off right and fresh.
Thank you so much for that welcome. I so enjoyed having conversations with you, Diane, and you, Emily. And I really feel like you said that we are connected with our purposes about creating a more heart-centered world. And so I just want to say I felt so in alignment with being here today. And I see I don't see familiar faces, I was going to say, but I see familiar names on the screen here today. And I'm super excited to be here, to be able to share with you just in this quick hour time frame. I guess I'm going to actually take closer to 50 minutes, so we'll have an opportunity to share what's in our hearts. Really an opportunity for you to take your life to the next level. What a great time for us to be pausing, reflecting, and asking what's next. Some of you have experienced some of these processes that I'm going to be sharing with you, so I'm going to invite you to take it to the next level. I have a PowerPoint to share with you. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, hoping that it works. And if it doesn't, I may ask the rest of the team to put it up for you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and mute ourselves and quiet ourselves. But if you get stuck with that PowerPoint, let us know. We'll figure it out for you.
Great. I appreciate that. So I just want to say you are in the right space. If you've been asking yourself, what's next? What's that pull of what you've been looking for? And you're asking yourself, I really want to align with what's most important to me. My family, my friends, maybe creating an impact with your business. In fact, I'd like to hear in the chat, how many of you are in business? It gives me kind of an idea of, are we talking about personal life or business? And maybe some of you are asking, really, where's my joy space? Or maybe you've been feeling a little bit frustrated or stuck and judging for yourself for not being further along. And either way, you're in the right space because you're here for a reason. So I'm going to encourage you to tune in, to cut away any of the distractions. In fact, I'm going to make sure that my phone's off for the next 50 minutes so that you can tune in to what's really important for you. And I want to acknowledge you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here today. It's like a commitment to yourself. Like Emily was saying, I'm a busy mom. I'm a busy business owner with my company Keys to Empowerment. And I love helping women up-level their businesses. And I have an active social life as well. I'm dating. And so can any of you relate to this? We have busy lives. You can put in the chat, yes, we're here for a reason. In fact, if in the chat right now, if you could please put, what is your intention for being here today? And if you could say it in a short share so I can just kind of go through it really quickly. So we all have a lot on our plate. So I want to acknowledge you for being here, and I want to acknowledge Touchstone for asking me to come here to speak to you today. And it's really a courageous act to ask for what you want. I find that when okay, great, I'm hearing from, I want to kickstart in the 2021. And anybody else that wants to share in there? Continue your personal growth and supervisory skills. Love it. Then this is going to be really helpful for you. I just like to say, because when you're in a leadership role, you need to be able to say to people what's important to you. And you're going to be getting curious about what's important to them too. It's part of the point in leadership, right? Inspiration, says Alana. I'm here because I love to mastermind with Carrie. Great. Thank you, Alexandra. That's actually one of the processes that I do, is I do masterminding with women. Run my office for a family contracting, says Marie. Plus a bookkeeping, you need motivation. Great. This will be a spectacular way for you to connect to really what's important to you. And Michelle Newcomb says, I got a promotion this year and Touchstone has really helped me get there. So it sounds like many of you are in that business day-to-day world and are let's call it navigating the juggle of it all. Yeah, great to hear that. Okay, so thank you so much for participating. It really helps me to see where you're at. So I want to acknowledge you for being here today. And so I just want to share with you, it hasn't always been easy for me to have a clear vision. I want to say early on in my career, I was in HR, human resource management, and I became a VP of HR. And I began to realize, wow, I could be helping. And maybe some of you can relate this. I could help a lot of people, but I wasn't asking what was really important to me. And until you get really clear about what you want to create, how in the world can you even expect to get there? So I'm going to flip to the, let's keep our fingers crossed that I can get the PowerPoint to work. One moment, because I want to share with you what some of the struggles people have. Okay. So it goes back and forth on my brand new computer here, but what I can share with you is what I'm going to help you do today is help you to create your inner GPS. And what I say with that is it's just that ability for you to say, what direction am I wanting to go in? And with having that direction, you can begin to cut away all of the rest of the distractions that get in the way of you following, creating a life that you love. So go inside and ask yourself, does it sometimes feel frustrating, like I might be going around in circles and maybe I haven't gone forward in the direction that I want to, or I might not be able to be making as much of an impact as I'd like to make? Or would you rather have a path that step by step you begin to trust the process of living into your purpose and your passions? And next, one second. Other way around. And maybe you've been one of these strong people where you're like, okay, I can do this on my own. And yet you realize that it's so much easier when you work with other people, when you basically lean into being inspired by others, finding the resources and the ideas. So that's what we're here to do today. Not only are you going to be creating a clear vision for what direction you want to go, but you're going to be inspired by the other people on the call. And I love this little slide where it talks about rules of life. If you do not go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you do not ask, the answer will always be no. And if you do not step forward, you will always be in the same place. So today we're going to be asking ourselves really the bigger questions that many people don't even ask themselves is, what would you love to do, to be, and to have? And I'm going to take us off of that for just one moment, so I can help you to see kind of the context in which we're working. So can anybody relate to that? It sounds to me like we're just going to be in this mode. So put it in the chat if you felt frustrated, hopeless, And you could use this clearer direction because maybe you've been distracted. So maybe that's been one of your biggest issues that you've been dealing with is distraction. And so really when we get uber clear about what lights us up, we can have that ability to say yes to what we love and no, what I say, hell no to what we don't. So, and at this moment, I'd like to just share with you, there's a way in which we do this. And this is a process that I found a number of years ago as I was asking myself, what's my next step? Like I mentioned, I was in human resources for a number of years. Then I was trained as a holistic psychotherapist, only to realize I liked coaching better. And I came across dream building. And then I paired that with a process that HeartMath had created. So I'm going to share with you a process where you can de-stress, get into your creativity, and take it deeper. But before I go there, it's a matter of imagining what you want to create. And before I go there, I just want to share with you, every one of us has imagination. So just for a moment, imagine that I handed you a slice of lemon and then I had squeezed it in front of your face. I don't know about you, but my taste buds get to going here and I could almost even smell the lemon. So most of us don't have what they call pictures running across your imagination, that we have, let's call it sensations. So when I'm going to be taking you through this process, begin to key into those sensations, whether it's images or it's people's mind's eye that comes through, or maybe it's just a felt sensation in your body. Whatever information, pay attention. I'm going to give you a moment to note it in just one moment. And so this is a process, like I said, that I'm going to ask you to come into your heart space, and this has been used with individuals around the world to help them to come into a greater level of ease, well-being, and contacting creativity. So we're going to be using our creativity. So what else did I want to share with you before we go there? I think just really that is that you have it within you to decide what you want to go for. So this will be a two-step process where you'll be able to get clear, and then we're going to talk about what you're going to let go of. So there's a part of our brain called the amygdala that's always on the outlook for danger. And instead we're going to pre-program it for, let's look on the periphery for what's actually in support of our vision. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to invite you just in this moment to take a deep breath. And you're going to put aside any of the papers, any of the writing. You're going to have a moment to write that down in just one moment. And I'm going to share with you what areas we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to share the screen again. One moment. Many of you may have already received a handout for this, but if you didn't, it'll be okay. I just want to imagine, have you imagined, what if you woke up every day feeling excited, motivated, and inspired? What if you felt deeply connected with yourself, with Source, with the people that you work with? And what if you had the time and money freedom in which to live your life in ways that you're not just an automaton and going through your day, but you're actually able to come in contact with what you'd like to create? What if you were fully expressed, like one of my clients, Alexander, who's on the call today, and you're able to use your creativity and your talents? She helps individuals to trust their intuitive skills, their psychic skills. And imagine if you're actually able to come in contact and do what you love. Oops, I had another person on that screen, but I didn't find it. So what we're going to be asking the questions are, what do you want to create in the area of health and wellness, in your relationships? So you just may want to write this down right now. So after we do the meditation, you'll be able to link it in. So health and wellness, relationships, time, money, freedom, and in your career and creativity. So you can write those down and give yourself space. And in just a moment, we're also going to be talking about, what it is that you're going to be letting go of, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. So coming back to, I was going to say, seeing all your beautiful faces, but instead I'm going to see all your beautiful names. So you have those all, okay, I hear that there's a reason why some of you are here, frustrated and distracted, immobilized, want to really stay focused on what's clear. So here's your opportunity. Is take a deep heart breath. Because you're going to have an opportunity to find a quiet space within yourself. So putting your hand on your heart and taking a deep heart breath. And I'm going to ask you to just settle into this moment. Settle into feeling safe, relaxed, and present to what shows up for you. So taking a deep heart breath, you're going to go into your heart space, which is a different level of knowing. And you're going to begin to think of a time in your life when you felt a deep sense of love and appreciation. So just coming into that moment where you're taking a deep heart breath, you're breathing from your heart space, and you're feeling safe, loved, and nurtured. And in that space, begin to ask yourself, what would I love to create? What would I love to do, be, and have more in my life? Taking a deep heart breath. Begin to ask yourself, what would I love to have more of in my life? Would you love to have maybe a deeper level of connection? Maybe the financial resources to take your life to a whole nother level. Maybe you'd love to have a deeper level of vitality, greater health and well-being. Deep heart breath. Or maybe the creativity, your full expression. And what would that look like? Deep heart breath. And some of you would even like to have the opportunity to have a greater level of contribution. What would that be? Writing your next book, being visible, sharing your talents. What would you love to have more of in your life? Maybe you'd like to have a meaningful career that really connects you to your passions and your purpose. Get curious about what that's like. Who's inspired you? Who you'd like to be working with. And taking a deep heart breath. And then for a moment, imagine what would you like to do more of in your life. Maybe it's creating deep connection with family and friends. Or maybe it's being an expression of source. I don't know about you, but I know I certainly like to travel more. When you want to travel, where would you like to go? What kind of adventures do you want to create? And maybe you want to feel more active. So what would you like to be more active doing? Taking a deep heart breath, feeling into if there's any images, even sounds, even songs sometimes come to me. Paying attention what comes through. Maybe there's been a skill that you've been wanting to develop for a number of years, and yet you've put on the back burner. What is your deep heart longing? Taking a deep heart breath. So maybe it's a project that's been on the back burner, that's been begging for your attention for a very long time. Or maybe it's another way of expressing your unique talents, your unique skills. Writing a book, like I've mentioned before, being a part of your community, and taking a deep heart breath. And then who would you need to be? Who would you like to be as you're living this life? Maybe you would like to have less stress and more peace. Maybe more ease in your body. Maybe inner clarity, focus, or maybe an inner strength. And why not a little bit of playfulness or creativity? So ask yourself, taking a deep heart breath, what would I love to do, be, and have? And letting that settle in. Listening, paying attention. Now I'm going to invite you to wriggle your shoulders. Maybe feel your fingers, your toes. And I'm going to invite you to write down if there was anything that came up for you in those primary areas of health and well-being. It actually doesn't need to be in that format. Those are just prompts for you in your relationships, in your career and creativity. And what would you love to be doing with your time and money freedom? And I'm going to give you another 5 minutes to write down what comes up. And if you get stymied, just go back to your heart space and breathe through it. And one of the pieces I should have said is, let's do this without editing. So often we can say, but I don't know how. You don't need to know the how at this moment. You just need to know the what. What is calling you right now? What wants fuller expression through you? So take a moment to get curious. And I'm going to invite you, if you write them down and you go, okay, well, that's it. I want you to take a deeper level of specificity. In other words, if I say I want to create a deep connection with my peers, what does that look like? What does that feel like? Do we have clear communication? Are we heard, seen, witnessed? So getting clear. And taking a deep heart breath. I'm going to give you another 4 minutes or so to continue writing that down. Hmm. For those of you who feel like, yeah, I'm clear what I'm up to. I'm going to be meditating this year. I'm going to show up early. I'm going to go on a trip to Turkey. It's what Alexander said. So ask yourself a little bit more about that trip to Turkey. Is it a 12-day excursion? Is it a month? Is it to learn about their culture? Is it to experience the people? Is it to have a spiritual experience? What is it that's calling you forth? There's a reason why Turkey's coming up, by the way. And to trust it. So another couple minutes. And for those of you who have a multitude of things that you're noticing on your page, I'm going to encourage you to circle what are those things that are making you come most alive, that appear to be your highest priority for this year. You may actually find that they're co-joined. For example, one of my deepest values is deep connection and to be active and have a spiritual practice in nature. So why not join them all? Get together a spiritual circle of women to be able to come in contact with nature and do some ritual. So just notice how what's coming to you may have multiple paths that you can co-join. Beautiful. Like I said, if you get stuck, take a deep hard breath. Go back to that place of nurturance, knowing that your needs matter. So wrapping up, knowing you can always come back to this process and ask yourself, what would I love to do, to be, and to have? But I'm guessing in those 5 minutes, you came up with a little bit of something. And if you haven't, that's okay too, because you're going to be inspired by your group in just a moment. And so one of the things that I'm going to be asking you next, if you don't already have the handout, I'm going to do a sharing screen, is what do you need to continue to do or start in order to allow that to come through? So if somebody can begin to put in the chat or even come off of mute and say, what's one of your things that you're working on so that we can use as an example? So either a chat. Okay, good. I just realized. Okay, so I'm hearing continue to walk every day. And I'm guessing there's a goal in there, Diane. Okay, it looks like you can't unmute, so I'm just going to leave it as this. Put it in the chat. What that goal is. It's helpful to know what is the end goal. I'm guessing it has something to do with health and well-being and possibly being in nature. So the one side of this, and I'm actually going to do a share screen. Somebody was saying about COVID times.
I think I gave them permission to unmute, Carrie, if you need them to do that.
Okay, that's super. Thank you. Let me come back to that before I share screen then. So I'm hearing Paula say, continue to travel to Eastern Europe, Northern, okay, travel after the world is COVID free, right? Love that. And so what I found is it's also helpful to know what we need to let go of in order to, so I'm just going to share also with Paula as an example. What I'm hearing you say is you want to be traveling. So you may want to make sure there's a lot of preliminary steps before then, right? Doing research, maybe about the countries, maybe making contacts with the people, maybe learning how to do the food, or get all of the inoculations if you need to get them. So a lot of preparatory steps that you can make your trip even richer when you get over there. And I love this. Alana saying that she's traveled with her clients in healthy goddess retreats and vacation in South Pacific over, love it. Cruise the Baltic with spiritual group in August. Great. So the next steps to this is asking yourself, what do I need to continue to do or start to do? So really asking yourself first, what holds you back from going for clearly what you want? Maybe you need the support with friends, family. Maybe it's additional financial resources. Maybe it's believing you can do it. Maybe in my case, like I said, I realized that I needed to stop eating and drinking alcohol so much. So not only what do you want to continue to do or start to do, but do less of and let go of. We are focused on basically in the United States, putting more and more on our plate. And I'm inviting you the opposite. Let's take something off of our plate. So to do less and let go. So consider, what can you let go of? Often what I hear from my clients is they say, I can let go of Facebook. Or I can let go of, when I was going through my master's in psychotherapy, I let go of watching television. And I also let go of any relationships that were toxic, that no longer were in my best interest. So what can you let go of? And I'm going to have you actually put that in the chat so you can allow your vision, your dreams to come through. Okay, and I'm hearing Paula saying, let go of concern over COVID in time, right? So we can begin to educate ourselves, right? So there's part of that is letting go of concern. The other part is maybe finding the ease and the well-being in this. Oh yes, so Marie says I can totally relate to the COVID pounds. Okay, and I'm hearing policies. I realize I can't control things. So maybe what could you do, Paula, to let go, to alleviate some of the stress? Like I just went through a process today. Like I said, everything I ask you to do, I do myself. And so it was trusting myself, just trusting and giving it up to God, eating less and less sugar, letting go of worry over things I can't control, starting a lemon cleanse also. Okay. I can let go of belief working at my desk is the only way to build my business. I love that. Right. You can go for walks. I do some of my calls, my girlfriend calls more than my client calls. Okay. And Alexander says reconnecting with Stephanie Gibbs Wellness by Mother. Okay, I'm not sure what that is, but we're going to talk about that. Learn to let go of your fears that serve your highest good. Right. So once you then, I'm going to ask you for a level of specificity then for yourself, not necessarily for all of us. Then what are those fears? What are those concerns? Take it to the next level. And what are some of the steps that you can begin to take? And those are what I call SMART goals. And I'm going to have you bring you back to that in just one moment. SMART goals are, we're looking at specific, measurable, achievable, it's at the bottom here, relevant, and time bound. So what are you willing to commit to doing? And then also, what are you willing to let go of in order to let your dreams come through, your intentions come through? I'm going to have you write this down. There's 3 levels of, let's call it commitment. The first one is thinking about it. So today we've been pausing. We've asked you to think about it. The second one is writing it down. And the third level is actually sharing it. So in just a moment, I'm going to break you into groups, and you're going to get an opportunity to begin to share with the other people on the call. What is it that you're willing to let go of in order to have your dreams come through? And what are you committed to? So it's going to look something like this. You're going to say, well, you can say your name. My name is Carrie, and I'm committed to doing my morning practice each morning for an hour, which means setting my intentions, getting clear on doing my prayer work and so on, getting clear about my gratitudes, and really what's the 2 most important items I'm going to be doing today. And what am I willing to let go of? I'm willing to let go of the whole concept of I need to stress about things. In other words, and I'm willing, okay, I'm going to be more specific. I'm willing to let go of drinking alcohol over the next month. That's measurable, achievable, relevant, and it's time bound. There you go. So that I can allow my intuition to come through and drop the weight so I can be clear. So now it's your opportunity to share with the rest of the crew. So I'm going to give you, let me see, the next 5 minutes, and you'll need a timekeeper for, and 1 second. Here we go. And you're going to go into breakout rooms, and you're going to share what are you committed to as a result of doing this and getting your ahas today, and what are you going to let go of? Just one thing in particular, and you'll have 6 minutes. So have fun in doing this process, and I'll see you on the other side. And so I know this was a quick drive, and it's actually designed to be a really quick drive to get you through the process. But I just want you to know that this is a process that you can come to time and time again to ask yourself, what is it that I'm wanting, needing, desiring in my life? And reminding yourself that you need to let go of some stuff in order for your dreams and your vision to come through. It's not enough to know what you want and to let go of stuff. It's really empowering to be able to have people that believe in you and can help to propel you forward at those moments in your life. Have we all had those where you struggle to have a level of confidence and knowing that you can move it forward? Or maybe you're at a crossroads and you say, should I go this way or that way? So I encourage you to develop your tribe, your team of individuals who can help to support you. And I know that you have some important stuff to be asking us, Emily. So I'm going to stop talking and let you go forward. And I just want to say thank you again, all of you, for staying here, asking the bigger questions. And thank you, Touchstone, for having me here today to share visioning.
This is so perfect, Carrie, because it just ties into all of the the programming we got coming up, which Diane's going to tell you about. But, just so that those of you that are here, we met Carrie through Kathy. And some of you might remember Kathy. She was one of our presenters at our second Leading with Love conference. And I've known Kathy for a couple of years and fell in love with her the first moment I met her. So anybody who's a friend of Kathy is an instant friend of mine. So Carrie, and then we met Carrie, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful thing to be in the presence of such enlightened, wise, kind women. So it's a true gift. So thank you for all of you. But anyways, I'm going to turn over to Diane because I'm still in her thunder. There you go, partner.
Oh, super. Thank you, partner. My name is Diane Adam. I'm co-creator with Emily. And Carrie, you talked at the beginning of the hour about being in a joy space. And I need to tell you personally, this is my joy space. And I feel that we all are connected today just by virtue of being here in the same room in the same hour. So it's a new year. It's a new touchstone for those of you that already know us. Those of you that don't, welcome. Carrie, even though it's a new touchstone in a new year, we have the same question for all of our guests. And we'd love for you to just let us know from your heart, what is leading with love mean to you? What does leading with love mean to you?
Mhm. So it helps me to remember that when I'm taking a stand for being a passionate, loving leader, that I have the power that's not just beyond me to tap into my greater purpose. So leading with love just means doing what I do, which is helping women to make a bigger difference on this planet, you know, aligning them with their passions, their purpose,
Right.
and their heart space. So I just really appreciate this opportunity to be here today.
Well, amen. And you also said at the beginning that we're connected by purpose. And I feel in my breakout room, Michelle as well, thank you for the shout out earlier. There's a bigger purpose and a reason why we're all here. A number of the folks on the call have been participating with Emily and I in a number of different ways over the years. So what a fantastic way to start 2021. And we thank you for this, Carrie. Again, www.touchstonecc.com or at Touchstone Central Coast on social media. And Emily and I, Carrie, bless you all and thank you for being here. And I hope you enjoyed the breakout rooms. I love that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Yeah,
Thank you, everybody, so much. Have a beautiful weekend. I hope the sun is out and bright and you get to go sit and let it shine on your face today and tomorrow and anytime you need it.